The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elsie Chen walked through the crystalline doors, her boots echoing against the polished obsidian floor. Around her, representatives from 100 alien species watched with expressions ranging from curiosity to barely concealed contempt. The air shimmered with translation fields, carrying her words to every corner of the vast amphitheater. "You summoned us," Elsie said, her voice calm but carrying an edge sharp enough to cut through the whispers. "We came in peace as requested." The Jarketh High Counselor, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline exoskeleton, pulsed with what the translation field interpreted as amusement. "Peace? How quaint. Humanity, you are hereby ordered to surrender 70% of your worlds to the Dominion. Your species will serve as labor for the greater galactic civilization." Elsie's expression didn't change. She'd expected this. Earth's admission to the Galactic Council 3 years ago had been too smooth, too easy. The older races had been planning this from the beginning. "And if we refuse?" she asked. "Then we will take them by force," the Vryn War Master clicked, his mandibles spreading in their version of a smile. "Your military is primitive, your ships are slow. Your weapons are chemical reactions and crude explosives. We have fought and conquered 1,000 species. You are nothing special." Elsie reached into her jacket and pulled out a small data chip. "Before you commit to this course of action, I'd like to share something with the Council. A piece of human history." The Counselor's energy field flickered with irritation. "We have no interest in— You should be interested," Elsie interrupted, her eyes hardening. "Because it will show you exactly what you're about to unleash." She activated the chip. Holographic images filled the chamber. Cities reduced to rubble, mushroom clouds rising over continents, soldiers fighting in trenches, bombers darkening skies, weapons that could crack planets orbiting in the cold void of space. "This is what we did to ourselves," Elsie said quietly. "Before we reached the stars, we fought 2 world wars that killed over 100 million of our own people. We created weapons capable of rendering our entire planet uninhabitable. We burned our own cities, poisoned our own air, and still we fought on. Not because we're warriors by nature, but because we refused to surrender our freedom." The council chamber remained silent. Several representatives shifted uncomfortably. "We joined your council because we wanted peace," Elsie continued. "We'd seen enough death, enough destruction. We thought we'd found something better out here among the stars. But you mistake our desire for peace as weakness. You think because we haven't conquered our neighbors that we can't. You're wrong." She turned slowly, meeting the eyes of every council member who would hold her gaze. "We stopped fighting each other because we grew beyond it. But make no mistake, we remember how. Every human child studies the battles of Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon, Patton, and Yamamoto. We write songs about our wars. We build monuments to our dead. War is woven into our DNA because for millions of years it was the only way we survived." The Jarketh Counselor pulsed with what might have been anger. "Threats mean nothing. You are outnumbered, outgunned." "We're also insane," Elsie said flatly. "Do you know what a human will do when you threaten their family? Their home? Let me tell you about Arlo Kane, a farmer from Earth's agricultural colonies." She activated another file. A young man appeared in the hologram. Dark hair, kind eyes, calloused hands. He was smiling, standing in a field of golden wheat with a woman and 2 children. 3 months ago, the Vryn Dominion raided his colony world. They killed his wife, took his children to be sold as slaves. Elsie's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "Do you know what Arlo did?" The hologram shifted. It now showed a lone human ship, a modified cargo hauler drifting in space near a Vryn supply station. He emptied his savings to buy an old freighter. He filled the cargo hold with fertilizer, ammonium nitrate, the same explosive compound we used in our primitive wars. Then he flew it straight into your supply depot, broadcasting his children's names the entire way. The explosion that followed in the hologram lit up the chamber. The Vryn War Master's mandibles clicked rapidly in distress. "He killed himself and destroyed a military installation worth billions of your credits," Elsie said. "One human, one ship, one father who had nothing left to lose. Now imagine what 300 billion humans will do if you try to enslave us. Imagine what we'll do when we have nothing left but vengeance." She walked forward until she stood directly before the High Counselor. "You've fought warrior races who battle for honor, predator species who kill for territory. You've never fought someone who will burn their own worlds to ashes rather than see them conquered. You've never faced an enemy who considers mutual destruction an acceptable outcome. The translation field crackled as her voice rose. We don't have your energy shields or faster than light weapons. But we have billions of humans who know how to build bombs from household chemicals. We have engineers who can turn civilian ships into missiles. We have soldiers trained to fight in every environment from Arctic tundra to vacuum. And we have enough nuclear weapons hidden in our colonies to crack every council member world in half. Silence filled the chamber like a physical weight. So I'll ask one more time, Elsie said softly. Is this really the war you want? Because if you push us, we won't just fight back. We'll make sure the entire galaxy remembers what happens when you threaten humanity. We'll burn so bright in our final moments that species will tell stories about us for 10,000 years. She placed both hands on the council podium and leaned forward. We came here for peace. We wanted to be part of something greater. But if you want war, then war is what you'll get. And when the ashes settle, when your worlds are radioactive wastelands and your fleets are debris fields, you'll wish you'd just let the crazy humans live in peace. The High Counselor's energy field dimmed considerably. The Vryn Warmaster had gone completely still. The motion for human subjugation, the counselor said slowly, is hereby withdrawn. Elsie straightened her jacket and turned toward the exit. As she reached the crystalline doors, she paused and looked back one final time. Humanity didn't come to the stars to conquer anyone, but we didn't survive millions of years of evolution, thousands of years of war and 2 world wars by being easy prey. Remember that. The doors closed behind her, leaving the council chamber in stunned silence. Somewhere in the crowd, an aide whispered to their superior, "The humans. They're insane." "Yes," came the response. "That's exactly what makes them so dangerous.